Hello viewers, welcome to Only Immaculate English. Today I have come with the most important topic in English grammar, that is direct and indirect speech. You know, from morning to evening we go on talking with our neighbors, with our friends, with the members of our family in different ways about others, and we give information to others and we get information from others. In this way we use this direct and indirect speech. But here when we are learning English grammar, we use some rules. Actually, knowingly or unknowingly, we speak in direct and indirect speech. For example, I want to know what do you want to become? Hello, Meghna, what do you want to become in future? Meghna says, I want to become an engineer. Here, in this way, we converse. And when her friend overhears what have asked, she again asks her friend, what did sir has asked you? She says, sir has asked me what I would like, what I would want to become in future. And what did you say? I said that I wanted to become an engineer. In this way, she conveys the message without using my actual words. Like that, in direct and indirect speech, what is a direct speech, what is indirect speech? Before knowing that, please before going into that sentence, actual sentences, we have to learn some rules. Before going into the rules, please like and subscribe our channel so that I can come forward with some more videos in the videos. Please let us see here some rules are there. First of all, if you are thorough with these rules, and we can through rules we can write sentences and we can follow sentences, and afterwards with through sentences you can follow rules. Now let us see, before explaining you what a direct speech and what an indirect speech, I want to explain first some rules. Then I will explain. Don't worry about these things. You may be in confusion. What sir has is explaining rules without telling the sentences, explaining through sentences. Don't worry. First let us see what is a direct speech. Now I am speaking to you. My words, you listen to my words. What I speak are actual words are called direct speech. The speaker's actual words, and now I am speaking, I am a speaker, I speak to you and you listen to me. My actual words are said to be direct speech. And when you want to convey my message to the third person in my absence, you say you convey it indirectly without changing its meaning. That is called indirect speech. Now let us say here, direct speech means the actual words of the speaker are said to be direct speech. Now I have said, what I have said are actual words. And indirect speech, if the message of the speaker is conveyed to the third person indirectly without changing its meaning, is said to be indirect speech. In this way, when the speaker says something, we convey our message through second person to the third person without changing the meaning of the actual words. So indirectly, when we convey it indirectly, we call it indirect speech. Here, when you go through a sentence, there may be a reported verb, inverted commas, comma, inverted comma, everything will be there. I will explain. First let us see rules. There are 4 types of sentences. Generally, this is a direct and indirect speech depends on 4 kinds of sentences. What are they? Assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. We will learn in detail about all these. Before that, let us see rules. If you keep in mind these 4 rules, all the direct how to transform from direct speech to indirect speech will depend completely on these 4 rules. Change in reported verb. I will explain what is the reported verb after. Don't worry. Change in reported verb, and then change in pronouns. Next, change in verbs and adverbs. Change in tense, back shift. What do you mean by back shift? Just in reported speech, there will be a sentence. For example, I am writing something. Gopi said. Gopi said that he was writing. The sentence within the inverted commas is in present continuous. We go back. It is changed into past continuous. In the same way, if it is simple present, it will go to simple past. If it is present perfect, it will go to past perfect. Like that, the sentence will have their change. We call it a tense back shift. In such way, if you keep in mind these 4 points, completely the direct and indirect speech depends on these 4: change in reported verb, change in pronouns, change in verbs and adverbs, change in tense back shift. Now, let us see, in reported verb, in direct speech, if you come across a says, says to, tells, said, said to, how they will change in indirect speech. Let us see, says will have says, no change. Says to will be changed into tells. If there is a tells, it will be retained, it will be written as it is tells. If it is said, said also will be written as said. Said to will be sometimes changed as told, sometimes as asked, according to the context given in the inverted commas. See once again, says will be a says, says to tells, tells, tells. Here, when the sentence in the inverted commas, when the reported speech is in simple present or future tense, the tense of the reported speech doesn't change. When the sentence in the reported speech is in simple present or future tense, it doesn't change. When should we use a simple present? When we talk about habitual actions or general truth or scientific facts or universal truth, we use simple present. And when we refer to says, will, shall, future tense, then the sentences in reported speech don't change. And in the other cases, when it is said, it will be said, said to will be according to the context, sometimes told, sometimes asked. Let us see now pronouns. Change in pronouns I told. Pronouns means first, second, third person are there. First person, second person, third person. In first person, subject I, suppose subject I is there. It in object me. And N means not noun, N means no change. My, mine, possessive case, there will be no change at all. In first person, I is the first person, I, and first person plural, it is a singular, first person plural, we. We will be having its object as us and our, ours. These are possessive cases. We, object us. In the same way, second person, you, its object is you, and possessive case, your, yours. For in a third person, he, she, it, they will be there. He will be changed into object him, she will be changed into her, they will be changed into them. He will have its object him, and his are possessive pronouns, and then she, her, hers, they, them, their, theirs. Them is object, their, theirs, possessive pronouns. We come across these in changing reported speech to indirect speech. When we change direct speech to indirect speech, we come across inverted commas these pronouns. When we come across I, it may be changed into me. We, it will be changed to us. Let us see now. These are first person, second person, third person. And one more most important point you have to remember is, in changing direct to indirect speech, we often come across the words say and tell. What is a say? What is tell? When should we use it? Say means when you may not want to specify whom the message is being intimated or conveyed, then we have to use say. For example, Gopi says, he is a teacher, general statement. Gopi says, I am going to market, general statement. Ravi says, I go to school daily, general statement. In such cases, we use say. And when general information, facts or universal opinion also. For example, Gopi says, the earth revolves around the sun. It is universal truth. Gopi says, the log floats on water. General, it is a general fact. In the same way, scientific facts are universal truth. For example, proverbs are there. Where there is a will, there is a way. Gopi says, where there is a will, there is a way. It does not change at all. And some more example, let us take of a proverb say, too many cooks spoil the broth. Where there is a will, there is a way. And then there is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. Every cloud has a silver lining. In such way, proverbs are there. In such proverbs are general facts, next universal opinions. In such case, we use say. And when we come to the point tell means a verb. It is a transitive verb. Always it requires object. Remember, most important point. It is a transitive verb object, it requires a object. It is used in reporting instructions, commands or requests. What are they? Tell is used in requests, commands and then instructions. Now, not only these, some more rules are there we have to keep in mind. Once again, let me see. The direct and indirect speech completely depends on these 4 points. Change in reported verb. In the beginning only you will come across the reported verb. I will write a sentence and explain, don't worry. Change in reported verb. Reported verb here in direct speech you will come across says, says to, tells, said, said to. If there is a says in direct speech, it will be says in indirect speech. Says to will have tells. Tells will be written as it is, it will be written as tells only. Said, said, said to, told, asked. Now, some more rules, let us learn some more rules. Now, let us see third point. Here, change in verbs and adverbs. In change in verbs and adverbs, let us see change in verbs. How they are changed in present tense, present continuous, in present perfect or simple past, past continuous, how they are changed. If there is am or is in present tense, it will be changed into was. If it is are, it will be changed into were, was, sometimes was. If it is do, does, it will be changed into did. Has, have, present perfect, they will be changed into had. Now, if it is a V1, it will be changed into V2. Next, if it is a past tense, was or were plus V4, it will be changed into had been plus V4. Next, if it is a had plus V3, it will be changed into had plus V3. If it is a had been plus V4, change into had been plus V4. Now, when we come to the future tense, will, shall will be changed into would and should. Next, can will be changed into could, may will be changed into might. In this way, verbs, they will be changed in verbs from present tense to past tense, present simple past to past perfect, or present continuous to past continuous, there will be change in verbs. In the same way, look here, change in adverbs. These here now, these are all called adverbs. This will be changing to that. This will be changing to that. These will be changing to those. And here will be changing to there. Now will be changing to then. Ago will be changing to before. And then today will be changing to that day. That day. Next day, tonight, that night. Next, tomorrow will be changing to the next day or the following day. The next day or the following day. So, like this, tomorrow will be changing to the next day or the following day. Yesterday, the previous day. The previous day. And last night, the previous night. The previous night. Next week, next month, next year. These will be changed into the following week, the following month, the following year. The following week, the following month, and if there is a next year, it will be the following year. The following year. If it is here, year. These will be changed into the following year. These are the changes that are made in adverbs. What are these? These are all adverbs. These here, now, ago, today, tonight, tomorrow, yesterday. These are all adverbs. They will change according to that context. This will be changed into that, these will be changed into those, and now will be changed into then. Ago will be changed into before, today, that day, tonight, that night, tomorrow, the next day or the following day, yesterday, the previous day, and the last night, the previous night, next week or next month, next year will be the following week, month or year. In the same way, change in verbs, am is will be changed into was, are will be changed into were and was, do, does will be changed into did, and then has, have, had. V1 will be changed into V2, was and were, V plus V4 will be changed into had been plus V4, had plus V3 plus will be changed into had plus V3, had been plus V4 will be changed into had been plus V4, and in future tense, will shall will be changed into would and should. Can will be changed into could, may might be changed into might. Now let us see fourth point, change in tense back shift. Change in tense. How the present tense will be, simple present will be changed into simple past, present continuous will be changed into past continuous, present perfect will be changed into past perfect continuous. In the same way, past tense also. If it is simple past, it will be changed into past continuous. If it is a past continuous, it will be changed into past perfect. In this way, we have to change in tense back shift. Let us write. I will write now. Now, let us see fourth point, change in tense back shift. So far, we have discussed change in reported verb, change in pronouns, change in verbs and adverbs. Now, change in tense back shift. When we change from direct speech to indirect speech, simple present tense in direct speech will be changed into simple past, and present continuous will be changed into past continuous. Present perfect will be changed into past perfect, and then present perfect continuous will be changed into present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and then simple past will be changed into past perfect. Simple past continuous will be changed into past perfect continuous. Here you observe one thing, present perfect will be changed into past perfect. In the same way, simple past also will be changed into past perfect. What are the main points? Present perfect will be changed into past perfect, and simple past will be changed into past perfect. Next, past continuous will be changed into past perfect continuous. Next, past perfect and past perfect continuous, these have no change in indirect speech. When we come across the sentences of past perfect and past perfect continuous in direct speech, there will be no change in indirect speech. And in simple future, the direct speech sentence in simple future will have would in indirect speech, and future continuous will have should in indirect speech. Like this, there will be change in tense form. Now, let us see one sentence. Keeping in view all these rules, we have to do the sentences now. For example, I will give one example now. Raj says, I am a teacher. Raj says, I am a teacher. What is the reported verb here? Says. Says is the reported verb. We call it introducing verb also, or principal verb. We call it principal verb or introducing verb or reported verb. Let us call it reported verb. And Raj is said to be reporter. What does Raj say here? Raj says, I am a teacher. As per the rules I have said, when there is a reported verb says, we have to write the same as it is. It is in simple present. When we come across the verb says in reported verb, the tense of the reported speech doesn't change. Inverted commas, whatever is there, inverted commas, we call it reported speech. And says is reported verb, Raj is reporter. Now, this is called direct speech. When you find comma and inverted commas, it is said to be direct speech. Now, we are changing. When we change the sentence, see once how it is in the reported speech. In reported speech, I am a teacher. Actually, as per the rule, it is in present tense, where it should be changed into past tense. But here reported verb is in says. So, there will be no change of tense in reported speech. Just we have to change that pronouns only. Let us see. Raj says, to remove the comma and inverted quotations, we have to write that conjunction. To remove comma and inverted commas, we have to add that. Raj says that I refers to Raj. Here Raj subject. So, what will be the appropriate verb pronoun? He. That he. And here it is in present tense, he is. Raj says that he is a teacher. A teacher. Look here once again. Raj says when the reported verb is in simple present, the tense of the reported speech doesn't change. Here just we make some changes in pronouns only. I first person. For I refers to Raj here. Raj means in third person he. Next, to remove comma and inverted commas, we have to add conjunction that. Raj says that he is a teacher. Next, Raj says to Ravi. Raj says to Ravi. Here, in reported verb, says to is there. Says to will be changed into tells. Says to will be changed into tells. Raj says to Ravi, that means Raj tells Ravi. What does he say? He tells, I am going to Nellore tomorrow. It is in present continuous action. Here it is in present continuous action, but here look here, reported verb is in present tense, simple present. So the tense of the reported speech doesn't change, only the pronouns will change here. I refers to whom? I am going. Who is going? Raj says to Ravi. So I refers to Raj. Raj, what is the third person of Raj? He. Raj tells Ravi that when we remove comma and quotation mark, that I refers to Raj means he, third person he, and appropriate verb is. Raj tells Ravi that he is going to Nellore tomorrow. Tomorrow will be as per our adverbs, change of adverbs. Tomorrow will be changed into the next day or the following day. Nellore, the next day. Next day. Here Raj says to Ravi, I am going to Nellore tomorrow. He changed into indirect speech as Raj tells Ravi that he is going to Nellore the next day. Tomorrow is changed into the next day, and then says to is changed into tells. Keeping in view all the rules, we have to change sentences from direct speech to indirect speech. I hope you have understood. Thank you all.